Chamba from Yaga Mechanical Engineering. Today we are going to talk about animal feed production system, and we start right here from this weighing scale. This is what we call a weighing scale. This is the very first machine that you need when you're doing animal feed production. So the purpose of the weighing scale is to make sure that the components that you're mixing are up to the right measures. So once you want to use a weighing scale, you must make sure that you know what products you want to mix. You may have sunflower seeds that you want to mill, and also you have cotton seed. We also have maize. We may have many other omena and such. These are the products that you make sure after you mill, you can also produce whatever you need in terms of animal feeds. So the very first process that you entail here is make sure that your switch is on. Is the weighing scale. Make sure it indicates that it's at 0 right here. Then when you see that, then you can put whatever you want to measure. If it's you have decided to mix things like omena, you may measure that through the right ratios here. And now this is the first process. The second process is where you mill now your products. Now once you have measured them correctly, this is where we come to the second process, where we use the direct mill. This is what we call a direct mill. You can zoom for the viewer. The direct mill, this is what it does. It mills whatever products, the raw materials that you have acquired, and the raw materials that you decided to mix. So this is the feeding tray. You can see this is the feeding tray. This is where you put your products. And once you put your products here, they are milled and they go through this system and they come here. This is what we call the cyclone. Once they are here, now you can collect whatever it is that has been milled from this point. So this is the second process where we use a direct mill. And the third process we are going to go very fast is where you use the mixer. And what is the purpose of the mixer? The mixer mainly makes sure that the products that you have milled are mixed up into uniform compositions or uniform ratios. Once you make sure that you mill your products properly, you make sure you also use the weighing scale once again, so that you may measure the right ratios. You must make sure that the ratio of what you are mixing is up to the right standard. So once you come to this machine, this is the mixer. This is what we call the vertical mixer. We have three varieties of vertical, horizontal, and the barrel or drum mixer. Now we start with the vertical mixer. This is where you put your components right here. So once you feed the components that you have made sure that you've milled very well up to the right fineness, this is where you switch on, and this machine has a screw inside. The screw is what makes sure that every product that is put here is mixed into the right and uniform, and to make sure that you get your final product. So once you mix whatever it is that is here, this is where the output is. This is where you collect your final product. And once you do that, there's the fourth now process. But before we go to the fourth process, let's look at the horizontal mixer. Now about the horizontal mixer, this is what we call the horizontal mixer. You can show the viewer. This machine, it does what we call mixing of dry and wet feeds. Compared to the vertical mixer, this has more advantages, because if you want to mix anything that has molasses and any other thing that will, any feeds that are wet, you can do that through the horizontal mixer. So once you have your components, once you have milled your components and you've made sure they are up to the right measures, so you come and feed through this point right here. This is where you put your products. And once you put your products here, when they are at the right ratios, once you make sure that your products are the right ratio, this is where you come and you open here. This is where you feed. This is where you feed your products. This is where you put whatever you have milled. That is including the soya, the omena, the cotton seed. The right ratio, then you put them here. So this screw you see inside here is what makes sure that the mixing is done in the right manner. So once you put, we have after like 20 or 25 minutes, there is a collection point Finally, this way you can collect your product, your final product right here. So once you collect your final product, you'll have your annual fees, and